Time to catch up with today's Arizona State expert to give you the latest and most updated scoop on the Sun Devils. Now on Rockin' Manooch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
Welcome back in, everybody. We roll till 4 o'clock. Time to do some Sun Devil conversation. And former ASU receiver and sideline reporter, we are speaking with Kevin Turner. And man, oh man, oh man. I just want to ask you, being down on the sideline and watching that game, the physicality in that game and the wild plays, Kevin, that had to be highly, highly entertaining. Because I'm watching it on TV, and I thought the game was off the hook.
There are a lot of dudes on that field, Kevin.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I think I was talking to Sean Creston in our post-game show, and what was top of mind, about midway through the third quarter, I said, win, lose, or draw. This is a lot of fun. I'm glad I'm here. It was entertaining, to say the least. Offense, defense, special teams. And to me, it reminded me of Tiger Woods back in the day when maybe he didn't have his A game and he wasn't hitting fairways, but we saved a lot of pars with some good putts on Saturday night, and we got up and down out of the bunker, and then we stole a couple of birdies. We got outplayed, and how many times you see Tiger Woods, over his career not have his A game and then figure out a way to win a tournament, and that's exactly what happened on Saturday night. Guys just believe in one another, and I think the big turning point in my mind was when we were able to block the punt, and Montana Warren scoops and scores and goes in from 45-plus yards and gets into the end zone. And then they clank a couple of field goals off the upright, and then L.T. Welch has a pick six. I mean, that was a gift. Let's face it, that was an absolute gift. And we stole 20 points on Saturday night. So, sometimes you just have to find a way to win, and that's what we did on Saturday night.
I think what Tiger did earlier in his career, which you're alluding to, Kevin, he scrambled very, very well. He would hit left, he'd hit right. He'd be a little military golfer, left, right, left. He'd pitch, he'd probably go, how the hell did he get a birdie? He was 25 yards into the woods, and he ended up with one. I want to go back to the kickoff return. The kid muffed in the end zone and decided to come out. Were you down there? Did the kid get confused on what he could or couldn't do? Is that what happened?
Yeah, and I actually saw him on the big screen talking to one of his teammates out there. I don't think he knew the rule, and that's, as a kick returner, you've got to understand the situation, the time, and the place. In Arizona State, we had no timeouts left. And the other issue is, I'm not sure why the quarterback didn't climb under center, and they just, they run a wedge play, and they get out of it. I mean, it's Dylan Risk played his ass off on Saturday night, and I was asking one of the ball boys on our sideline, one of the UCF ball boys, and I said, why did it take Gus Malzahn 6 weeks to figure out that this guy is the real deal? And he goes, well, he whispered into my ear, he's like, well, the other guy, KJ Jefferson, they're paying him $1 million, so that's why they had to stay with him. But I mean, that kid, he definitely balled out on Saturday night, but that was a bad decision he made, but also a bad coaching decision, not to just have him, forge ahead, take a knee, go into the locker room, but we got gifted 7 points, but we'll take it.
I love the brutal honesty of Kenny Dillingham. He goes, hey, look, we should have lost that game by every imagination. But to your point, KT, we won it. We found a way, the block punt, the interception. You'll get that touchdown. You utilize your tight end for the one touchdown in the back of the end zone. By the way, that young man is really, really starting to come alive. Is it Shimon Mateer, that kid, the tight end? That kid is really, I love the way they're utilizing him more so, Kevin. I hope to see him a lot more as the games go on.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great blocker, too. You can't forget about that. And he also blocks well, not just, ankle to ankle inside. They can spread him out, flex him out, motion him. He's got really good body control. He's a big dude. I think he's about a biscuit shy of 270 pounds. I mean, he's a big boned, very athletic. He's got very soft hands and made a very athletic sliding catch in the end zone for that touchdown off a play action. So I really like him, and that's what we talked about that in the pregame show. We said we got to activate not only the Valley, but also the tight end.
Kevin, were you near the conversation when you were down on the sideline, Cam Scadaboo talking to head coach Kenny Dillingham, and it looked like he was pleading his case to go get suited up? Were you around that at all or not?
No, but it definitely crossed my mind when we were scuffling around. I'm thinking, the way I saw Cam run out of the locker room and now I had shoulder surgery 4 months ago, and I'm still having a hard time raising my left hand over my head. And I saw him waving that flag, and I'm like, dude, let's get you suited up at halftime. It literally crossed my mind, and it wouldn't have surprised me to see Cam, just knowing his personality, the physicality, and Kenny just goes, I had to save him. There's no way. And I still think this week they're going to watch him very closely. And, God bless Kenny for having the kids' best interest at stake, because this is a Sunday guy who definitely wants to play this week, but the coaches and the doctors are going to make a decision that I think is in the best interest of Cam. And that's, gosh, what a noble thing to do for a head coach, to really believe that, the players' interests come before everybody else's. And I think that's noble. I mean, it's a gnarly game that we play on Saturdays and Sundays, as you guys well know. And it's special to see Kenny have the players' interest at stake.
So if that,
it's really neat.
Okay, so if that's the case, then right now you do not expect him to be suited up.
Well, what Kenny said yesterday in his presser was that he is questionable. Now, last week he was doubtful to questionable. They took the doubtful out of the sentence, and now it's just questionable. They were going to let him run around for the next couple days to see how he's feeling, and then make a decision. But I wouldn't be surprised if he is not somehow contributing as a role player. I don't know if he'll start, but I think we might see him on Saturday night in Manhattan, Kansas. Well, and by the way, Manuch, what is there to do on a Friday night in Manhattan,
Very
Kansas?
good point. Very good point.
Just get ready for football, man. Just get yourself ready. I would send you down to Aggieville. If you go down to Aggieville, I'm sure you get a nice burger at the Hibachi Hut. They call it the Belly Bomb. And you get that Belly Bomb at the Hibachi Hut, plenty of fries, get a cold brewski, go back to your room, you'll be satisfied, get yourself all ready to go. But as far as Manhattan, Kansas is concerned, the little app or the home of culture, you'll get your fill of culture by just being in the city, KT.
Yeah, I'm a pheasant hunter. I might just get a couple bird dogs and go out and do a little dawn patrol morning hunt on Saturday morning.
Yeah, many a time I've hunted quail and done pheasant right there.
It's a big night when you're at the hibachi hunt.
By the way, what do you? I'm very biased because I'm watching my Cats all year long. Aside from that damn BYU game, what have you seen in Kansas State so far? What's jumped off the page for you?
Well, the first and foremost is Avery Johnson. He's freakishly talented. He's fast. He's athletic, but he just hasn't really had that breakout game. And I hope he doesn't have it against us. I hope he's holding his breakout game in abeyance for maybe Cincinnati or Iowa State that they'll face after us. But what's interesting, the running back Giddings has really been kind of lackluster the last couple of weeks. Mm-hmm. He had 57 yards on 19 carries against West Virginia, and last week or 2 weeks ago in a rainstorm down in Houston, he was held to 50 yards on 17 carries. So the last 2 weeks been interesting. He's been held to under 3 yards a carry, and they had a great offensive line last year with that 9-win season. So they broke in like 4 or 5 new guys this year, and they just haven't really meshed very well. And I think maybe that could, in part, be due to Connor Riley, who's the offensive line coach, is now a co-offensive coordinator with Matt Wells, who was the former head coach at Texas Tech. So
Yes.
I'm not sure why he's not been consistent. He had a real good game against Colorado. I watched that game a couple nights ago. He had 182 yards, 7.3 yard average. And Avery Johnson was very efficient, 15 of 23 for 2.25 in that game and a pair of touchdowns. But I really like I think their defense is underrated, and I think their back end is really outstanding. Number 10, Jacob Parrish, is a real good one.
All right, pal. Listen, we'll let you go. Have a great trip to the Little Apple. And when you're on the show next week, I want a complete, detailed report about the hibachi hut, okay?
The belly bomb.
Belly bomb.
There's kites. There's the Dark Horse.
Oh, my gosh.
There's a Cinemaplex right there, all there in downtown Aggieville. I'm sure you'll find plenty to do downtown Aggieville, KT.
You know me. I'll probably end up at Sensations Lounge in a Holiday Inn at like 1 a.m, swirling. Looking into the abyss of a empty glass of bourbon.
Well, they got a Holodome, that's for sure. They got the Holodome, got the pool right there, and then Godfather's Pizza's right across the street from the Holodome.
What a night!
I mean, you're in tall cotton, my brother.
Thank you, Kevin. Good luck.
All right, guys.
See ya.
Go get your culture for the weekend.
Oh my
KT.
gosh! Oh my gosh, Manu. Jeez, it's in the middle of corn. Manhattan is.
Yeah, I think they're up to about 55,000 people.
Okay.
Plus the university's about 22,000,
okay.
somewhere thereabouts. But man, it is purple Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It is purple pride. It rains purple, literally. Those 3 days as they get ready. 5 o'clock kickoff on ESPN.
There you go. Thank you again to Kevin Turner, who's going to give us a complete report on a belly bomb at the Hibachi Hut next week. When we come back, we're going to dive into some more football. It is football at 50. Rock and Manooch with Jimmy B. Fox Sports 910.